So we're just going to buzz cut Jimmy's hair completely. 2 all over, bosh.
For charity, you do anything, don't you?
Hi everyone, we're here today with Jimmy Dunne. I'm going to be cutting his hair and talking all things mental health for the partnership between Erre and Errea. Let's talk about, what it is that you do to look after your mental health and why it's important for you to be here to create awareness.
It's not really easy for guys to say that, lads, listen up, I'm actually struggling with something, can we all talk about it?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I've got a few mates that will make an effort to ring me and ask me how I am and genuinely be interested in listening, whether it be about football or just about anything. And I think I'm at my best mentally when I'm focusing more on helping other people and ringing my mates and seeing how they are, rather than I'm on the phone to some of my mates for an hour and I've only spoke about myself. And
right. Well, it's good that you have them to listen, because not a lot of men have that support factor where they feel like they could actually call their friend and talk. So it's nice that you have that situation with some of your mates that you can spend hours on the phone talking.
One of my best friends I speak to, Fergal, if I've had a good game, I think I'm Ronaldo, and if I've had a bad game, I think I'm the worst player that's ever played football. And he's quite consistent. If I've played really well, I've played well in his opinion. And if I've played really bad, I was my best, but I was okay. So it's nice to have some friends that are consistent,
I think that a lot of fans maybe within football forget that you're human beings. I do my job like this. It's just yourself and I, right? And there's nobody else. If I do a bad job, I do a bad job. But if you guys are deemed to do a bad job, you have some people breathing down your neck, giving you hassle, making you feel probably worse than you would like to feel for the performance maybe on that day. Is it something that some of the players or yourself struggle with to overcome that feeling of like, the fans are really on our backs?
Yeah, I think that naturally negativity takes a toll on people, doesn't it? Like at QPR over the years, we've had moments in the season where we've been right down there and it feels like a wave of pressure that you can't really shake off. I think luckily for me, growing up, I've realised that as football is the most important thing in my life and career, that it's not everything. It's bigger issues that have come into my life off the pitch. We're talking a lot with people. I know Better's a really good community for people to go to talk about themselves. And I think the first thing I do when I have an issue or things aren't going well is try my very best to accept it. And when I'm not accepting it, when I'm neglecting it, or I'm not talking about it, when I'm keeping it down, then that's when the problem worsens. But I think acceptance is a good place to start.
Obviously we touched on earlier on, you touched on your younger self and all that you really cared about back then was football and all those things. And now knowing what you know, what advice would you give your younger self to sort of like go back in time and sort of tell younger Jimmy, I
definitely worked really, really hard as a kid, because I think I felt as though I wasn't as talented as some of the guys in the academy that I was with. And I wouldn't tell myself to calm down as such, but I would have given myself some reassurance that the hard work is worth it.
Myself as a now 39-year-old man, the older I got, the more open I became, the stronger I became mentally. And that then, if I had a knock-on effect, that I was able to, I wouldn't say give good advice, but I was able to give a nice opinion to people's problems. And I feel like that really has helped me to become a better person and a better man as I've got older. So I'm sure that everything you just said will help you do that as well going forward.
I know that in football, men don't want to seem vulnerable.
Sure.
They think that they seem vulnerable if they're just trying to address issues. I don't know if in your industry or the people that you see every day, that it's the same thing regardless of their age. They don't want to seem, I don't know if they think it makes them seem weak or...
I think that the barber chair has become like a bit of a therapy chair.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that a lot of men are more willing to talk to me about their problems than maybe they would be to certain people, which is nice. It's taught me a lot. And I think the setting by where it is that I work is obviously just myself and you, it's one-on-one situation, so it makes life easier for you to be able to open up and talk to me as well, which I love. And I love being able to help people and talk to people, which is why I became an ambassador for Better in the first place. Is it a bit like that in the dressing room at QPR for all the players? Is there like a nice sense of community within all dressing rooms, would you say?
Definitely, because we can all relate to each other. I think we've all experienced each other's problems, and that's why I think one of the things I'm really impressed with Better is that it's not just one specific community that they try to create. They give loads of different opportunities to people to talk in an environment where they're more comfortable. I'll talk for days if I'm getting a haircut, because I love getting a haircut. It makes me feel good. And that is one hell of a haircut, by the way. I can see it coming along.
We're getting there, aren't we?
After training, we've got a nice little community of the lads that get a coffee together after training sessions. There's maybe 4 or 5 of us, and then we're trying to encourage the lads to move in, the new lads to move into the similar area, you know, when they come to the club.
Sure.
And then we can have kind of a bigger coffee club. I don't know if you've seen, we did a kind of coffee club celebration, me and Lucas. But Lucas, for example, came to the club last year, couldn't bring his family over, his 2 kids, his wife.
That's tough.
And yeah, it is tough. And I found that we ended up living together and getting coffee every day together and became really good friends. And I felt like it really helped us. We ended up playing on the right side of the pitch together. I felt like it made us unstoppable on the pitch at some stages in the season. So I was really proud of myself in a way that I tried to help him, or not help him, but I was there for him just for little things, getting a coffee and stuff, and it benefited my performance as well. So I think we're definitely much happier when we serve others.
It can be very difficult, I'm sure, to move to another country without your family and that community support system that we spoke about. So good on you for helping him settle, because obviously by you helping him, it helped you because it allowed you to be able to push on and form that little partnership together that's obviously doing really well now.
I've just remembered now, 2 seasons ago we played Watford. It was near the start of the season. I think we were 2-0 down and we won the game 3-2. I think it was a 12:30 kick-off. It was an unbelievable win. We were absolutely buzzing. We came back. I think Albert Dorma scored the winner, as he tended to do for us. And when we got back to the training ground, some of the lads, their wives were picking them up, their families were picking them up, or they were going off to see their mates or such and such and such. And I got back to the house at 5:30, buzzing, like what a game. I thought I did really well, we won.
Sure.
I went and I sat on the sofa and I could hear a pin drop. And like the room nearly swallowed me up. Like I felt as though I didn't really have anyone to celebrate it with or like anything to do after that. And I was like, oh, that was all for nothing nearly. And I know I've spoke to some of the lads and they go home after a really, really bad game and they see their kids or they see their wife or whatever and they forgot about the game instantly.
Sure.
So I think that's why I've made an effort myself to make sure I've got a community of people around me, people to speak to, so that good or bad I can stay consistent. But I suppose it's only when you go through these experiences that you know what you need.
Right. Well, I think you're looking handsome there, mate. So I want to say thank you very much for giving us your time and for supporting the charity, for supporting Better. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much, mate.
Thank you for the haircut. I will be a lifelong advocate of Better. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.